What up, guys? Digital Slang. Today, the Note 20 Ultra. My final thoughts, my final review on this phone. And good and bad, I've had mixed feelings about this phone since it has come out, but my feelings have changed. And I will talk about that as we get into the video. In a little different style here, a little different type of video here. I'm upstairs shooting in the loft today because, well, I've been up here working all day. So I'm just going to stay up here. I'll shoot up here tonight. Normally, this is how the videos look on Slangcast, my other channel. You can find me every Friday night doing live streams and more podcast-style videos like this on that channel. But tonight, we're going to chill here a little bit, talk about the Note 20 Ultra, my final thoughts. Now, I've got to start off saying, if you have the money, and you can kind of tell where the video is going to go by this statement right here. When I first got the Note 20, battery problems, still not the best battery for me, but saying all that, I didn't return it. I was going to, then I was going to sell it. I didn't do that either. I fell in love with the phone. So if you have the money, I'm going to tell you why throughout this video, but if you have the money to pick up the Note 20 Ultra, straight up, you should get it. It is a fantastic phone, and we're going to go over the reasons why I'm saying that. And at the same time, this isn't going to be a very spec-heavy review. My final thoughts are basically from the point of your everyday user, what somebody would get, not a tech nerd like me. If you just picked up this phone, what does it bring to the table, and why is it worth the high price tag? Because let's be real, it's very expensive, but it is worth the money. So we're going to talk about it. Basic things you look for in a phone. Your average consumer, your average person, what do you want in a phone? All right? We're going to talk about build quality. We're going to talk about the camera, shooting video, the display, and a little bit about the internals, but not much because the average consumer doesn't really care about that. They just want it to work and do what it's supposed to do. So we're going to start with the display. Well, let's talk about price real quick. $1,300 for the base 128 gigabyte model plus tax. So definitely a premium. So right out of the box, you can tell the build quality on this phone is premium. It feels premium in the hand, and aluminum and glass design. Again, I have the Mystic White, does come in black, and the Mystic Bronze as well. But if you just take a look at the phone itself, it looks beautiful. It really does. You know, the big camera bump aside, it still looks really good. Even the camera bump, if you're not looking at it from the side, the camera bump looks really good with the rest of the phone. It does go very nicely with the rest of the phone and the Note 20 Ultra. Now, this phone, of course, we have the S Pen, right? So that is part of the build. You do have the S Pen. Now it has been moved to the other side, and I don't have a problem with that. It's just something that you will get used to. And you do have the power button on the right side of the phone now, if you're looking at it, and the volume rocker up and down. And that is pretty much it. And it does have expandable storage. So that is why I chose the 128 gigabyte model. So right off the bat, once you feel this phone, hold this phone, premium build quality, you're not going to be disappointed whatsoever. And then we're going to take it one step further. The screen, the display. This is hands down the best display on any phone I have ever seen. Hands down. Like, it's not even close. There are good screens out there, don't get me wrong. Other screens look really good. The screen on here is fantastic, is amazing. If I'm watching content, whether it's YouTube videos, Netflix, whatever it is, I'm searching for this phone. If my SIM is in a different phone, I'm bringing this with me just so I can watch content on it. You will consume content like crazy on this phone. 6.9-inch display. It is the adaptive 120 hertz display. And it's fantastic. Silky smooth, saturated colors, just like Samsung usually give us. But I feel like it's toned down a little bit this year. I feel like those saturated colors that were sometimes a little too much, I feel like they've been toned down to where they're almost perfect. The screen on here is incredible. You're never going to have a problem watching content. Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube videos, it's just a very good experience. And you only have that small hole punch on the top in the center that is actually a lot smaller than the hole punch on the 10 Plus from last year, the Note 10 Plus from last year. So the display is amazing. Premium build. It looks and feels first class, top notch. It's an incredible looking and feeling phone. And then when you start to use it with the smoothness of 120 hertz, it's just fantastic. It's a really good experience no matter what. It just is a good experience. Now, saying that, one of the cons for me, since I did get the phone, has been the battery life. And the battery life on here has suffered because of the 120 hertz. Sometimes I'll turn that off. I'll go back to full HD, and I'll even turn it off there just to save even more battery life. So I'll run 60 hertz full HD just so I get better battery life. But in the end, I did just go with full HD, 120 hertz, and I'm using the phone that way. And I'll plug it in when I got to plug it in. That's how good this phone is. I will accept poor battery life on here. And it's just my phone, right? There's plenty of other people. So if you pick this phone up, there's plenty of other people that have fantastic battery life on here. Unfortunately, I think there's a bad batch out there, and I feel like I have one of those. It doesn't matter to me. That's how good the phone is. 5 hours, 5.5 hours, that is the most of screen on time. And I know there's more to battery life than screen on time, but that is the most I've been able to get on a full charge before I've had to plug it in. And I'm okay with that because this phone is that good. Now, saying that, I have been an iPhone user since the iPhone 3. I have purchased basically every Note. I've had the Note 4, 5. I skipped the 7, but then I did have the Note 8, the Note 9, the Note 10, the original Note 10, and then the Note 10 Plus as well. And now the 20, the Note 20 Ultra. By far, this is a phone, the only phone that has ever made me not miss my iPhone. So really good build quality, the display, second to none. Now I do get the Fold 2 this week, so it's a little different phone. So I really don't want to compare the display to the Note 20 Ultra to that because it's just a different breed of phones, a folding phone versus a slab of glass. A little different. I'm sure the screen on that's going to be fantastic as well. But on a regular phone, not a folding phone, the Note 20, hands down, the best display you're going to get right now in 2020. And it's probably going to be better than the iPhone 12 when that drops, because we all know Apple gets their displays from Samsung. So Samsung usually tones it down, or Apple tweaks their display to look a certain way, whereas Samsung likes to oversaturate things. But this display on here is amazing. You guys can just take a look. I mean, just take a look for yourself. If you can't really tell from a video, go to Best Buy, check it out, play with the phone before you buy it. You're not going to be disappointed. Watching content on here is just a great experience. It really is. And what else do we care about as far as a phone goes? If I am your everyday user, just your average consumer, what do I care about, right? What am I using my phone for? I want it to look good. I want it to feel good. But at the same time, I want to take pictures with it. I want to take video with it. And Samsung has really improved on their pictures this year. They're getting better and better. Still not the best, okay, but really good pics this year on the phone. Video quality, 8K video, 4K video. All right, guys, 8K video on the Note 20 Ultra Mystic White. Overall, it looks pretty good, at least from where I'm standing. I'll check it out more when I edit the video. But is it a gimmick? Maybe, maybe not. How is the stabilization on the Note 20 Ultra? And the audio, all I'm doing is talking into the phone now, so no mic on here at all. This is just straight me talking into the phone. 8K video, overall not so bad. The video looks good. It just does. It's not as good as Apple. It's not as good as the iPhone. iPhones have always had the best video quality, but Samsung is getting better. And it looks really good this year. And picture quality, again, same thing. They're getting better. It's not pixel quality. It's not iPhone quality. but it's not far behind anymore either. It does look good. Now, they did fix some of the problems with the camera from the S20 Ultra. They took away the 100 times zoom. They did give us 50 times zoom, and even that is kind of a gimmick, and you can see the pics here. 3 pics. The first pic is just a regular picture. Second pic is 5 times zoom, and then the third pic is 50 times zoom, and it's cool. It is cool. It's cool to play with, right? I can get some cool shots, but I'm not going to use it very often. I probably would never use it. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever use it unless I'm making a video for it. There's no need to use it, but it's cool to have, and it's a gimmick. And gimmicks are kind of what Samsung is known for, right? They give us a lot of things in their phones where some of them we don't need. I don't need Bixby. I don't need air gestures, things like that with the S Pen. And we'll get to the S Pen in a minute. But overall, what they've done here with the Note 20 Ultra is really good. And in my eyes, in my opinion, if there is a phone that is worth this price tag, this is it. The Note 20 Ultra is easily worth $1,200. It is a powerful phone, a powerhouse. Even for your everyday user, it's a phone you can keep around for years, especially with Samsung giving us updates every 3 years now. Well, software updates for 3 years. So it's going to be a good phone and very powerful for years to come. And Snapdragon 865, great processor, 12 gigs of RAM, very powerful in what this phone can do. You're not going to have any problems gaming on this phone. If you like to game, it's just a powerhouse, hands down, a powerhouse. And picture quality and video quality have improved, and I'm sure they will continue to get better. But again, not as good as iPhones, not as good as the Pixel lineup of phones, but overall, top 5 easily. Really good camera on here, and it's getting better. 3 lenses on the back, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 108 megapixel wide angle camera, and then a 12 megapixel telephoto camera. And again, the blurriness and the issues they had with the S20 Ultra, they did fix with the laser autofocus sensor. So really good. They have improved, and they continue to improve, and the Note 20 just shows that, and it shines. It really does shine in many, many things. And if I would have had better battery life on here, I mean, I probably wouldn't even take my SIM out. I probably would have never bought the Fold 2, to be honest with you. That's how good of a phone this is right here. Another tool that comes with the Note 20 Ultra that makes it very valuable is the S Pen. A really fun tool, a really good tool. If you are a power user, the S Pen comes in handy for many, many things. I use it for fun. I don't pull it out that much. I use it here and there, taking notes, screenshots, things like that, just to have a good time. But what's cool about it is they did improve upon it, and they improve on it every year. And this year, lower latency, which is good. I've never had a problem with the latency on past S Pens. The Note 10, fine. I didn't have a problem with any of that. But it is improved once again, and they will continue to improve it. There are some gimmicks with it. But what I really like about the S Pen this year is the feel you have. It's kind of realistic. It's a realistic feel, like you're writing on paper or some kind of surface when you use the S Pen. And I dig that. I think it's a lot of fun. And that's when I want to use the S Pen. I just want to, if I'm bored, I'll pull out the S Pen and just play around. And that's how I use it. I'm not a power user by any means with the S Pen, but I'm glad it's there. I would rather not need it and have it than to need it and not have it. So part of the reason why I buy the Note series every year is because of the S Pen, even though I don't use it. Mainly because of the design. I'm a big fan of the squared edges on the S Pen compared to the rounded on the S series. But overall, look, build quality, amazing. The design of the Note 20, I wish it was a flat screen. I'm not a big fan of curved edges on a phone. Whatever it is, I always tend to have accidental touches. So I do wish the display on here was flat, like the regular Note 20. But Design, build quality, first class. The S Pen, a fun tool. The cameras have gotten better. The display, second to none. Performance, fantastic. The Snapdragon, we're not talking about the Exynos version. We don't want that. The Snapdragon version of the Note 20 Ultra is the way to go. Battery life on here, we've talked about that. I didn't have the best experience with battery life on here. It is a 4,500 milliamp battery, but at the same time, I don't care. That's how good of a phone this is. The first phone that doesn't make me miss the iPhone. So really good job, Samsung. Now, real quick, I want to talk about the Note 20, the regular version, the $1,000 plastic phone. Look, if you are looking for a new phone, do not buy the Note 20 plastic version. It shouldn't even exist, to be honest with you. It just shouldn't exist. You don't need it. If I was going to spend that type of money, I would buy the Note 10 Plus from last year before I bought the Note 20 plastic regular version. It's just not worth it. The Note 20 Ultra, if you have a couple extra bucks, this is the phone to get. Fantastic phone, the best phone Samsung has in its lineup as of today. Tomorrow with the Z Fold 2 might be a different story, but right now, Note 20 Ultra, Mystic White, Mystic Black, Mystic Bronze. Can't go wrong, guys. It is a hefty price tag, but overall it is my favorite Samsung phone of all time. Hands down, just a fantastic phone. That's it for the video, guys. A little different type of review. I do love the phone, but I'm coming at this from an everyday user, not a tech nerd. There are lots and lots of things I can get into as far as specs, but with this phone, they're all worth it. They really are. This phone is absolutely worth the price. And I don't say that about a lot of phones, and I'm not going to say it about the new iPhone when that drops, but this phone is worth the $1,300 I paid for it. So that's it for the video, guys. I'll be back soon with more. Stay safe. Peace.